Hello, welcome back to Out on That Line for a very special episode. We're going to be introducing our friend Tanner to something new this week. We're going to be talking about Spiritbox and the new album, Tsunami Sea. I'm here with my co-host Alex, as always. Alex, how you doing?
I, for one, just can't wait to show Tanner my spirit box. And I find myself moist and wanting. Yeah, I don't know. So Jeff and I originally were like, we'll record this after the episode we're recording with Tanner. And we got to the end and I'm like, we're having fun. We're all friends here. We're vibing. Tanner hasn't listened to this album. So why don't we do like a reaction on the fly? Jeff and I can kind of get in our thoughts. But I also think like getting fresh takes from Tanner, we won't necessarily like go a whole song at a time, but just getting some takes from Tanner on the fly, I think to me is a more fun idea than just Jeff and I talking about it, because we agreed. We were like, I think we're both positive about the album, but we don't necessarily have all the language. We're almost at a disadvantage having listened to it before. So I think
Yes.
having this element of being able to like bring Tanner in fresh and talk about it is going to kind of give us a unique perspective.
Yes, and speaking of fresh, when it comes to Spiritbox, Tanner, just how fresh are you?
Zero freshness.
or all the freshness.
Wait, oh yeah, totally fresh. Sorry,
Yeah.
totally fresh. Yeah. I know nothing.
Well, Spiritbox is as Tanner so eloquently stated, a Canadian heavy metal band. And that could not be more accurate, folks, because they are Canadian and they do play some heavy metal. Now, I'm pretty familiar. Well, I say pretty familiar. I've got like probably a handful of Spiritbox songs that are on rotation in my heavy metal playlist. At the gym, Holy Roller, fantastic song. That song just goes. So I've done some listening to Spiritbox in the past. I do think this wave of, women have been in metal basically since it started anyway, but there's been kind of a wave of like women really being the front facing part of these metal outfits, and Spiritbox really carries that torch. And I think Courtney LaPlante, who's the lead singer of Spiritbox, I think is looked at as somewhat kind of a torchbearer of this generation's like crop of these female metal singers. She's definitely got the range for it. It's really, really interesting hearing her clean vocals and how they can just like soar over these really heavy riffs and then just go into the nastiest growl you've ever heard in your life. It's just the dichotomy of those things is just really, really fascinating. That's why I think women in general in metal are so unique, is because they generally have access to those higher registers, but she's also got access to this like the same kind of growl that you hear out of any other like metal outfit. Like you listen to Fugitive and those growl vocals sound very much like something she could do. The lead singer of Fugitive is not hitting the same notes that Courtney LaPlante can hit on the other end. So that's why I think it's such an advantage for them to have that range in their vocal cords that men just don't seem to have. And the few that do, you have a singer like Claudio Sanchez and Coheed that doesn't really get that far down into that lower register. He kind of lives up in that upper register a lot, or he's doing some scream singing. You don't get people that have that sort of crazy range, and the ones that have it are, as special as advertised.
I also think the other advantage that Spiritbox adopted is they're a band that really utilized the internet and working through the digital space to cultivate like a rabid following.
Mm-hmm.
People are ride or die for Spiritbox. This is only their second album. I really want to go back and listen to the first, because a lot of the consensus seems to be like, if you look at the debut, there was a lot of like really interesting material and interesting stuff and a great approach to it. And if you didn't like that, then this album kind of took things in a more straightforward direction, which is to say, what does a straightforward direction look for someone like Jordy Greep? You're advancing an already crazy sound, right? But if you didn't like it, it's a little more polished and a little more like presentable this time. And if you did like it, here comes an awesome twist. They just seem to have like a very dedicated, very passionate fan base, and I see why, because, you know, as I say on the reactions all the time, I'm like, Jeff's the metalhead on this show. And it's 50-50 whether it's going to be, as I think I put it in one of my videos, the singer screaming until he turns inside out and explodes like a little blood balloon, or something like Courtney LaPlante, which is a sidebar. The fact that she's Courtney LaPlante and not like Murder Skank is fantastic. It's the most Canadian thing I've ever seen. But like the way that will play one of the songs, No Loss, No Love, the way that it can start with kind of that dreamier sound. And then go into the screen guy, the milk is poison. It can go into that. It's cool. It's a cool dynamic shift. I don't want to say having a lady singer in metal is gimmicky or a gimmick, because it's not, but I think it is very unique. And on top of that, Spiritbox is doing metal with prog. It's like it reminds me, parts of it remind me a lot of like Gojira, but then a lot of it reminds me of like the pop heaviness and fun of like Dragula. You kind of hear it. You kind of hear a little White Zombie in certain spaces, although I tend to think White Zombie, for as heavy as it is a little too gimmicky. This never, to me, got gimmicky. This was always like very on brand, on mission.
No, I think at this point, just with the capability that the female singers are showing that they have with this genre, I think honestly male singers are going to become the gimmick. Like the because some of those guys can go like just the super deep growl, like they can reach to the depths of hell basically for that. I think that's going to become the gimmick, and the standard is going to be being able to hit these notes and do that growl. It's not, you're going to have to be able to do both. I think Spiritbox sits in kind of an interesting place, because you have bands that are just, they have some little touches of like hardcore in there, some punk, which those two things kind of go hand in hand anyway, but they have a ton of melody. They have a ton of breakdowns. Like that's something I think that is not rated as highly as it should be for Spiritbox, is the amount of times that they'll go from like a really pretty quick riff, like very kind of in your face, quick vocals, to all of a sudden these guitars seems like the strings are hitting their feet, like they're going so low, and then her vocals are just soaring above all that. Like that's the Spiritbox signature to me. Is like, there's a song, Circle With Me, that is, I think, their most popular song, but I think that encapsulates so perfectly why Spiritbox is so popular, is because I think people want heavy music, Alex and Tanner. The people want it. The people deserve it. The people need it. They thirst for it. But it doesn't have to be that way all the time. If someone wants a heavy song from me, I'm not going to put on The Orphan by Paleface for them, but I might put on something by Spiritbox, because I think it bridges some gaps. It's people that are familiar with like Paramore are going to find some stuff to really like with Spiritbox. People that are familiar with just like pop punk music are going to find a lot to like about this. People that are fans of like new metal, Slipknot and Korn and Limp Bizkit and Deftones and bands like that are your jam. You're going to find some things to like about this music. I think her voice is a weapon. I think her lyrics, we're going to find, if there's any real like criticism I'll throw before we really get started at, kind of Tanner hearing some songs and really getting deep into specific things about the album. The one drawback I found on this album is the lyricism. I think there's, the idea I think is that she was very much writing this as a tribute to where they're from in Vancouver, it being an island, like, it's very much a coastal city. A lot of the commerce, and certainly in the past, I think it's a very tech heavy city now, but a lot of the commerce in the past was like through the harbors and kind of in fishing and things like that. And I think there's still that sentimentality. So there's a lot of focus on, sea life and things like that, and being trapped underwater and kind of using the water and the sea as metaphors for emotions and things like that in this album. When you're going through the album, it took me having to like read that, because when you're going through these lyrics, I'm not sure that's something you can really like pull from the lyrics. So this might be like a System of a Down kind of situation where those lyrics meant a lot to her, but I'm not sure how much they're going to mean to everybody else. But so Alex, was there a song that you felt like we should start out with Tanner hearing?
I guess I leave that up to the man. Do you want to start off the top? I think the first song, Fata Morgana, is not a bad place to start. I can think of a couple spaces. Geoff, I don't know if you have stuff in mind, but I leave it up to the man where he might like to start or where he might like to begin.
So I think the title track would be a great spot because I think that's very much a Spiritbox song.
What say you, God of Wine?
Tee me up wherever you guys think I should start.
Yeah.
I'm blind. I know nothing.
Yeah.
I know nothing. Well, actually, before we start, Tanner, let me plumb your depths on metal. Where,
I never talk.
it's a cup. It's a fucking cup.
We're about to hear it. Folks, if you haven't heard of Iron Maiden, you're about to hear about them.
Yeah, I want to hear what the Tanner metal for it looks like.
But the what I like about metal, like my metals.
Yeah, your metals. Your precious metals.
Yeah, Iron Maiden, obviously. Black Sabbath, right? They're like the precursors to it. Judas Priest guy. Anna likes Disturbed a lot. I saw them in concert. I know Geoff likes Disturbed a lot too.
Yeah.
I like them until I don't. It's a really weird thing for me. Like I'm like, okay, give me 8 to 9 songs. They played like 20, and I was like, okay, we need a break. But no, Disturbed fucking is obviously like great. System of a Down, I would say, is like the best thing since sliced bread. So there's that. Like System is like they're the kings. I wish they would just like tour. So
never again, my friend.
So I could just like I wish their drummer wasn't a Trump guy, so I could see him.
Yeah, never
concert.
Again.
Really pisses me off. I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I could get over him being a Trump guy. I'm really pissed about not being able to see them in concert.
And it's never gonna happen.
I'm trying to think about like what other metal stuff. Like there's not really a whole lot else for me, I guess, on the metal front. Not really my bag, baby.
Yeah. Steely Dan never did a metal album. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's a song called Razor Boy, but you wouldn't know about it.
Well, you still have a song to sing? All right. Well, I guess this is gonna be let's see what your threshold is for this.
Yeah. All right, hit me.
Share my little screen here. Working. Hold, please.
Enhance.
I'm hacking the mainframe. All right.
Okay, I was looking up this on Wikipedia, so this is the right album. Okay, cool.
This is Tsunami Sea, the title track, off of their second full-length LP, Tsunami Sea.
Mm-hmm.
This is Spiritbox. You ready?
Fire me up. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
That was me.
He's not ready for the growl, the violence that's coming.
Yeah, I see his little brain working. So I kind of want to not to give you blue balls, but I'd like to stop right there and just talk.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's perfect. I don't want to know when it's going to happen. So I'm glad you paused it.
And I just want to get some of your thoughts on some of the things you were hearing, specifically because you're a drummer. In metal, I personally always really key in on the drumming and on the weird stuff that they're doing with time signatures. So what were your takeaways about the drumming on this one?
The drumming,
Bless
the
you.
drumming is fucking stellar. It's what got me like right locked into it. The like it's not dumb speed metal drumming, double bass, crazy, like it's extra drumming because it's like heavy metal drumming. It's not doing too much.
Mm-hmm. Just reinforces the rhythm.
Yes, exactly. And like there's like parts where like the vocals play off it, or like the guitar plays off it. Like it's for this music, it's like the perfect back line. And again, it's not just like some like repetitive, like this. There are like, oh, and then like the next time around they'll take a different like beat off. Like it's very good, guys. This is very good.
I like the way that it like stops short of tripping over itself, where it's like
yes, it hits back, like it kicks back.
Yeah. So there's like weird syncopation in areas and like thoughts of syncopation, but like it's cool that instead of just like the drum kind of driving on this very set pattern where it's not afraid to kind of like stumble all over itself without being sloppy.
It's borderline jazz. In terms of the drumming, like it's like the drumming is what's kind of like everyone knows when to stop and when to go, and like it's
So
I'd like to listen to more of this.
Yeah.
Continue the song or pick a new one?
No, please continue the song.
Okay.
I need to see where this goes.
All right. Let's jump back to it. Jeff, do you have anything you want to say before we?
No, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to, like, he's heard this version of Spiritbox. Now I'm looking forward to the other one.
All right.
Coming out.
Also, fuck Jeff.
You heard it here, folks. Annie rides.
Yeah, not the first time.
I love you, Jeff. The drums are now swinging.
Yeah. This is music for the people that wear the tie-dye shirts with like berries on.
Again, the drummer's not doing too much. He's doing like
that little yeah.
yeah. No.
Oh, good. to me, that encapsulates the version of Spiritbox that I think is kind of what made them famous. Is I think people love that heavy beat. It's the same when you used to listen to like Evanescence, gives me the same sort of vibes. You have a singer that is just like knock the lights out good. And then you have just some really heavy music to back it up. And to me, I think that's one thing that made Linkin Park so successful. I think because you get the best of both worlds, like because her voice is like beautiful, and you can hear like towards the end of it where she really starts reaching up and hitting those notes. You can really start to hear kind of what she's capable of, and it's just you're matching this sort of like violence of these metal like chugging riffs, like these really kind of heavy beats on the drums, and then with this voice that just sits so nicely above all of it. It's like the clouds and then a storm, above the clouds is like sunny and it's beautiful and it's wonderful, and then under the clouds is all the storms and the rain.
Yeah, no, I like, I don't know. I just love the fuck out of that song. It's really cool. I plays the drums, the guitar, the bass, all for this project.
And
then there's a different drum guy too.
The singer and the other person in the band they're married, like they're real life together. And
Mike, Mike?
I don't know which one it is, honestly. I don't know which one, but there's like a group that tours with them. But I think there's only two of them. It's her and her husband that are the two that do like that.
So they're like a metal husband and wife, Tame Impala.
Yes.
Yeah, this shit's crazy. The fact that that's what this isn't like a bunch of guys with long hair in a room with a chick lead singer like going nuts. It's like just like her and her husband. And they're like, yeah, we get it. You get it. Oh, and then like the layoff on like the 17th beat of the thing, bang, like this is I was expecting the thing to go super crazy, but now I feel like I know what's about to happen to me when you play the next song for me. That's what that's gonna be. So I'm sorry that I was like, no, keep playing it, play it all out, because I thought it was gonna happen during that song.
We got your creamy proggy Spiritbox in on you.
Yeah,
that was really fucking cool. And not to say that I'm like not gonna like the next thing that happens, but that was really cool. That was like talk about pump up stuff.
Yeah, very much.
I feel like I could go for a really good walk to that song.
Yeah, that song could have played during like an epic battle or something, like medieval knights clashing,
or like maybe in the future. Future knights clashing.
Yeah, that could laser guns and shit. Yeah,
laser guns.
Well, Alex, did you have any thoughts about what one you want to play for him next?
I think he had his pudding. He's got to eat his meat. I guess because I reacted to it already, and it's the one I've listened to the most. No Loss, No Love comes to mind. I would say for me, it's between No Loss, No Love, Fata Morgana, maybe Soft Spine. Do any of those speak to you?
Soft Spine would be good because that one I think will showcase the other side of things.
Yeah, I want Tanner to have his meat.
Yeah. So, and Tanner, I just want you to remember the lead singer's name is Courtney LaPlante.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney. All right, let me get sharing this bad boy again. Hold, please. Holding for Spiritbox.
Holding.
Okay.
And do I control the volume on my end?
No. Your level is set, and then I can like turn it up and down from like my end, so it's fine.
Beautiful.
Because I will tell you, I turned it up a little bit too loud during the last song, and that was my fault. I had to turn it down pretty immediately.
Well, what do we think? Are we ready to?
Oh, we're ready.
Get into our Spiritbox here. All right, Tanner. This is Soft Spine.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Sounds very scary already.
Yeah. Well, what did you think?
Oh. Fair.
All about the contrasts.
Yes. That's very, very distinct difference between
Yeah.
the two songs.
I mean, like, come on. Like, that shit still fucking rules. That shit still rocks as hard as shit. Like, show me a band that's rocking harder than this band right now.
Well, because it's
Could
keeping the
could show you a couple. If you want to go there.
Well, no, Jeff, it's fucking hypothetical.
I think for me, it's because it keeps the prog elements are in there. You definitely hear it. So it's still doing all the same cool shit. It's just way heavier, and then obviously the vocal stylings are they're off the map.
For me, like, I'm not usually a big like scream guy. That's like usually where I
Me
lose
either.
it. But again, like, she can sing like she sings usually, and she can scream like that. As long as they, like, balance it out. Give me a couple songs that I can really dig. Give me a couple songs that Jeff is gonna go nuts for.
Yeah, that was one.
That's a fine. Yeah.
That you want to talk about. I haven't popped like I did for that song since
Thank God
Cena
there was
took
no
out Bray
styrofoam.
Wyatt.
Oh, well, R.I.P. Thank God there was no styrofoam around you.
Yeah.
If there's styrofoam near you when you hear a song like that, petrified.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, it's phenomenal. And I'm trying to think now to like kind of round out the experience, because I think you've seen like probably the two most perfect extremes that you're going to get on here.
Is there a song where like they do like and then screaming or like over the top?
I think the one that you were talking about, Alex.
Yes.
Yeah.
No Loss, No Love.
Yeah.
Is the perfect marriage of the two. It shows you what happens when they try to do the two. So do you want to listen to that one?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
That's the ideal. That's
Okay.
perfect. I'm actually glad I didn't know they had this on this, so that's good.
Yeah, see the first bowl of porridge might have been a little too cold. Second one might have been a little too hot.
The first bowl of porridge was actually perfect, and the second one was maybe a little too scary.
The second one had a finger in it.
Yeah. And I checked. It wasn't one of mine.
So what's going on here?
One of these.
I feel like is that if you don't know, so there you find a finger in a bowl of soup, okay, but immediately like in this hypothetical, you're not feeling pain or whatever. You don't know if that's your finger or someone else's, and you don't. So before you look, which are you hoping for?
Really specific scenario, I have to say right off the top. It's like not only is there a finger in your soup, but you also don't feel pain.
Well, just so you don't know, to drive home that you don't know if that's your finger or someone else's. Like, which would you rather it be?
Oh, I would guess.
But then you don't have a finger.
But here's my follow-up question.
But I'm not eating. Are we eating the finger?
Yeah, are we eating the finger? That's an important question.
Yes, in this instance, yeah, because if you're not eating the finger, obviously you want it to be someone else's. This is finger soup. The finger is supposed to be there.
Okay, then I would be hoping to eat someone else's finger then.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Finger.
Yeah, you're the odd man out, Tanner.
Yeah, if I find my finger in the soup, I'm going to be like, I know it's tradition, but I'm probably just going to... Also, is it cooked?
Can I pick the finger?
Well, it's in a hot bowl of soup. It's at a certain... I don't know if it got cooked with the soup, but it's been in the hot bowl of soup.
That's an important question because if it's been in the hot soup, there's a chance.
Boiling.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the same as like when you get pho, It's like you kind of...
If it was cooked, if it was put in there like a soup bone, like a ham bone in a nice split pea, you're fucked. You done neutralize the finger.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the soup that Mitch made for us when I lived at the meat mansion with him, where he said, "Don't chew hard on this chicken noodle soup. There's a lot of bones in there."
Who did it?
And then I took my bowl and dumped it in the sink immediately. And he said, "Who wasted soup?"
Who wasted my chicken bone soup?
I put some of it in my mouth and I pulled the bone out immediately. First spoonful.
I mean, you can't say he didn't warn you, Tanner.
So I dumped him. He was pissed. I dumped it. You could have just cut around him.
It's soup. There's no cutting.
It would have been easy to avoid the bones, but we don't need to relitigate the past.
God damn.
Yeah.
All this soup talk is making me want to rock out. Tanner, are you ready for No Loss, No Love?
Yes, track 8.
Okay, everyone can see the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking on Wikipedia on my left, but yes.
Oh, the Wikipedia.
I see. There's a reaction video on the right side of the shared screen.
Yeah, look at that. YouTube.com/C//
Oh fuck,
on that
dude,
line.
my
Wow.
AirPods are dying right now.
Fuck.
Yep.
Oh,
just
no.
died.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah, get her back in there. Get her charged
One
up.
One sec. Yeah. All right. Right AirPod has good life. We're good.
Okay.
Let's rock.
Weird charging glitch. I don't know why, but
We're
good.
Recording longer than anticipated.
Yes.
Tonight. Yeah.
Well, let's just hop right to this then, so you can get to the good bits.
Hit it.
Hit it.
Oh yeah.
That That was nice. That was cool though.
I was born in an estuary destined to the sea. I was surrounded by pearls that I could not eat and diamonds that I could not drink.
I gotta chill there. I gotta chill there.
In a bleached cavern of bones, I reached my destination. An island of solace beneath a corpse's feet. I can feel something sinister under the surface.
Oh, he ain't ready.
I know an island that breathes is a body that eats.
I
And now it's showing its teeth.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, oh,
Okay. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
God, the way that
whoa.
one she does that little monologue, and then the first time it hits is phenomenal, and then the second one lasts a little bit longer, and at the end it goes, and it's showing its teeth. Like, oh my God.
it just gets bigger every time. Like the song, just when you think like the limit does not exist, you think that like you've hit the ceiling on how loud and how big and fleshed out the song is going to be, and it just gets fucking bigger and bigger every time.
Yeah. So what'd you think, Tanner?
Yeah, I don't know. Jesus. You can't open the Ark of the Covenant in front of a man on live television. That song was crazy. Band rules. Listen to them. Buy it.
So Tanner, would it rate this?
Buy
Is
it.
this it? Was that? I don't want to like tell tales out of school here, but was that the heaviest song you've heard? Like ever? Yeah.
I don't know. They still have bad music, so I can't say. It's like trying to listen to heavy stuff. It was actually just bad, but like kind of heavy.
So
Misguided,
to me,
misguided youth.
like I've
I don't
gone on a hunt, and I think right now there's a criticism of the metal scene, specifically like metalcore and like deathcore and the ones that basically combine like kind of the speed and aggressiveness of punk and like the heaviness of metal. But there's a criticism that it's basically become like a riffs arm race. Basically, is like how heavy can you go, like how quick can you play. Same thing that like Eddie Van Halen kicked off, when he came out doing what he did. So it's like just the same old song and dance we're doing over again. This time it's just with metal. But to me, like that song in particular, like I've listened to some very heavy stuff in my experience. In my search for heavy music, I've listened to some very heavy stuff. That right there, that song, and especially the way that it hits back in after that second monologue, when she just does that, everything drops out, like even that like little electronic Thievery Corporation type beat they had going behind it, even that drops out and it goes, and it's showing its teeth. And it just hits you across the face with just even heavier than it was going before. And I don't know if it's volume, I don't know if it's tuning, like whatever it is, there's just something about when a heavy riff hits just the right way that it gives you. I saw you point out that it gave you chills after that first one. Like the second one did that for me. Like it's just that good.
Yes, I did experience the hair on the back of my neck literally
Mhm.
stand up during that, which I don't know if I've ever had that happen during a song on a first listen.
Yeah, and so I know that you have listened to heavy music, but I know it's not something that you've sought out specifically because it's heavy. This is like
Yeah,
very interesting.
it's because I was in your car and you were
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah, it's like just playing System of a Down as loud as those focus
No, but
speakers
again,
could go.
I love
Yeah.
System of a Down.
Yeah.
System of a Down is the eternal exclusion.
But
Like,
see, I think that's such a great example of kind of where I think your taste had been in the past, is because a song like Tentative by System of a Down is, like, I know to be one of your favorite ones, is a very melodic song from them. To me, the song ADD is one of my favorite System of a Down songs because it's like one of the craziest, heaviest songs they made. Like Sugar or Sweet Pea, one of the craziest, like weirdest off the wall heavy songs they ever did. Like that's what spoke to me. System just had a habit of like giving everybody a little something. I think that's why they kind of blew up the way they did. But to me, like what I look for in metal music is that aggression. Like I don't really need, like, storytelling is great if you do it in metal. Like don't care, honestly.
I listen to metal for the lyrics.
Like that's find me someone that says that and I will find you someone that I will not like hanging out with at all. To me it's like I want something inventive. That's why a song like The Orphan by Paleface was like, it's brutal. I mean, Alex did that reaction to it and was horrified the whole time he was listening to it. But to me it's just like they did something I hadn't heard before, where like I didn't think a song could be all breakdowns and 6.5 minutes long, and they did it. And that, like, that to me, it's like the criticism of people saying that it's just become like a riffs arm race. The riffs arm race is kind of exactly why I like it. It's like the Olympics for heavy music. And it's like, yeah, I want to see if someone can pole vault over a skyscraper. Let's do it. Like, I don't see a problem with that.
Well, and I don't even like. I feel like Spiritbox, at least on this album, is like foregoing the riffs arm race and being like, I can work around this. We can walk around the mushroom cloud. We don't have to go right through it. We don't have to put ourselves in the line of fire. Because again, the prog element that you're throwing in buys you so much space and so much goodwill and creates a different platform for you to, like, it's not about doubling down on riffs or like stacking riffs on riffs on riffs and getting as fast as possible. It's about being as heavy as possible within this, like, very, it feels weird to call metal quirky, but it's a quirky kind of framework. Like, there are certain parts where they do these, it's almost a stop. They're thinking about a stop. And I liken it to, like, we almost just all stepped in a pile of dog shit. And at the last moment, we swerved to avoid it. So it's not like a full stop. It's just this, like, pivot. And they take these, like, wonderful moments in these songs where they'll kind of like cut and pivot into a little syncopation, change up the beat, or add in a spooky riff, or just kind of like shift the direction of the song. So when you're doing all of those things, you don't need to just like bury yourself in like unnecessary riffs.
Bury me in all the riffs. When I die, I want to be buried in riffs.
Yeah, fucking classic.
It's riff guy over here. Big riff guy.
Yeah.
Big riff guy.
Big riff guy. Koch and I are big, like, backbeat guys, I feel like. We're a big, like, bombastic, boom, boom, boom.
Well, this one had a lot of that for you.
I didn't say
Yeah.
that it doesn't. I'm just saying
You
said
implied-
bury me in the riff.
You
Yeah.
implied.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, this album is not on trial here.
Tanner, it's on camera that you just said Spiritbox sucks.
That you just said that I said that.
Damn it. I was hoping he was going to say Spiritbox sucks somewhere.
No.
You try to trick him into that. How can you say that?
Just edit it
Say
everywhere.
what?
That'll be the only
That this
clip
song is the greatest song ever written. I agree with
I
you, man.
agree with you, Matt.
Everyone in Europe hates you. I'm your guy here.
Well, Alex, do we want to hit him with one more before we kind of give our
One more before
Final-
bed. I don't know, Tanner. Do you want to hear another one? Or you
You
got dying AirPods over there?
I mean, no, just the left one. Give me like a tasty like part of a song, like a 1 to 2 minute segment. Do you have one in your heads? You fucking geniuses.
I felt
And
like
if not,
I felt
that's
like the
cool.
last song of the album was a great album ender. Deep End was good. Did you have one in mind, Alex?
I don't know.
Okay, I would say hit him with a little bit of Deep End. That was
Give me like some tasty
yeah, that was
riffs or bumps or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, probably won't necessarily play the whole thing, but like we'll know. We'll know when to pack it in.
Yeah, we'll give him a little flavor. So what I've liked though so far is that the couple that Tanner has heard, the first one I think he liked basically immediately as soon as he started singing.
That's correct. Yeah,
The
that's
second
correct.
one, second one took you a second because it hits pretty heavy right at the start, and then you got warmed up by the end of it. The last one, I feel like you started very skeptical, just like song number 2, but you ramped right up to look like you were enjoying your time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll get you into that.
I mean, the second one, like, imagine skating out to play men's league hockey with the old North End gentlemen again.
Yeah.
With that song playing over the speakers. Geoff would board a guy immediately. How do you board a guy when there's no boards? You can find a way.
Yeah, you'll find a way. I'll build. It'll make me motivated enough to build the boards and then put someone through them.
Those are extra
BYOB.
boards. Those are extra boards. System of a Down tie-in. Nice. All right, hit me with the.
Hit it.
You got it. Hit it.
Couldn't call back. No desire. Climb a seawall to discover that my world is small. And your words are cruel. A tsunami.
Like completely carried by the drummer.
The bass drum sounds like $1 million. Just the bass drum. He's doing a great like reverse pattern on the bass drum.
Tanner, when we get to the chorus, try to help me figure out what the time signature is.
All right, I'll try. Can you point? Can you like a visual cue?
Yeah, when it kicks in, I'll be like,
Yeah. Four, eight.
right?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 4, 8.
I just love the guitar too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this might be my favorite song I've heard of.
Yeah, this riff was just such a good album ender.
It's so soaring.
Yeah. This was probably the most like, if a song was gonna hit like any sort of pop radio, this would be the song that would be on the album. Yeah.
Mainstream. Feel.
Yeah, Courtney.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah, you can cut it. It's just going through to the doing a little jingle jingles to the end there. But yeah, that song bangs.
That's really Coheed like, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
That's what I hear there.
Yeah. So
Big
that
time.
that I think you get a really good taste of Spiritbox just with the songs that we played there. But overall, just talking about it and re-listening to those songs, I feel like made me like this album even more. Because I think when you listen to it alone, part of like I think what another part of why I love metal music is because when you listen to with somebody and like I can see Tanner's reactions to like how heavy that got, and I can see his reaction to like how her voice just like sits above all else on some of those songs. Like to me, that's what it's about. It's about like do something surprising, do something creative, do something that I haven't like that I wasn't expecting. Or if I'm expecting a big moment, make sure when it hits, it's even bigger than what I thought it would be. And I think they do such a great job throughout this album of kind of meeting the expectations I had of what a Spiritbox album was going to sound like, but exceeding them in a lot of ways. Those parts that I kind of knew coming up was going to be heavy, they were heavier than I thought they were going to be. Especially like listening to that Deep End song again. I think it's probably like the fourth time, fifth time or whatever that I've listened to that song now, but it just again hit another way. And it might have been that you guys were like, oh, let's figure out the time signature. It might have been that I was trying to, look at it at a little different angle than I had been. And it just became, I guess, like showed more like how much talent there is involved with like putting something like that together, because that drum beat I know is not easy. Playing that song and having that riff groove like it does, it has no business grooving like that. Like that's where that pop punk influence that I was talking about earlier, like that's really the
Yes.
song is where that came in. Because it's very melodic, but it's got that heaviness to it. It's very like if you listen to a Sum 41 song, a lot of those riffs are going to sound kind of similar to that.
Or even like a Fall Out Boy, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that, like
Fall Out Boy would do some pretty heavy breakdowns sometimes.
like that. But yeah, I agree. Like this is like for, oh, you liked Fall Out Boy when you were 20. Well, you're grown up now. Listen to
Mhm.
this. This is a total direct like you liked Early November. Listen to this
Mhm.
now. And I dug it. I dug the hell out of it. I can't wait to listen to the rest of it.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm going to give this one a hearty buy it. I feel like we're on a good run of those lately.
I'm gonna say purely because we don't know the average metal consumer on this channel. If you're not well versed, stream it, and if you don't care or you are well versed, buy it. I'll give it a personal buy it, but you may want to dip a toe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say buy. It's like I don't know. I've listened to not much of it and I like it, so buy it. Buy it.
Excellent.
So high.
Well, gentlemen, in the interest of getting you guys to bed on time and the fact that I really have to use the bathroom, folks, it's been a pleasure. Tanner, it's been a pleasure.
This guy's got a shit.
Dollar menu after dark, baby.